far left is Herbert B. Livingston, president of Atheists United, an organization that has two primary purposes: to defend the separation of church and state as provided in the U.S. Constitution, and two, to educate the people about atheism. After a number of years as a successful writer of science fiction and other short stories, Mr. Livingston became a businessman. Presently, he is a semi-retired insurance executive. To my immediate left is Dr. John Warwick Montgomery, Dean of the Simon Greenleaf School of Law, a law school that incorporates Christian theology, human rights, and an eternal perspective on the law, as well as practical legal training. Dr. Montgomery is a member of the Bar of the Commonwealth of Virginia and of the State of California. Holds 7 earned degrees besides the LLB, the AB with distinction in philosophy, Cornell University, Pi Beta Kappa, BLS and MA, University of California at Berkeley, BD and STM, Wittenberg University, Springfield, Ohio, PhD, University of Chicago, and the Doctor de Université from Strasbourg, France. He's the author of over 100 scholarly journal articles and more than 30 books. He is honored by inclusion in Who's Who in America, Who's Who in American Law, Who's Who in France, Who's Who in Europe, and Who's Who in the World. The Directory of American Scholars, and he is the International Scholars Directory Editor-in-Chief. In spite of these credentials, he is particularly appreciated for his lively and dynamic teaching style. Dr. David P. Hunt in the center here, Assistant Professor of Philosophy, will be the moderator. Dr. Hunt earned his Bachelor of Arts degree from Pomona College, his MA, and recently completed PhD from Vanderbilt University. The title of his thesis is Ontological Kinds in the Area of Metaphysics. Dr. Hunt teaches classes including history of philosophy, metaphysics, and social philosophy. With no further ado, let us begin.
It has been said that we live in a post-Christian culture. Of course, the actual situation is quite a bit more complicated than this would suggest. Polls show that 80 to 90% of Americans profess belief in the existence of a supreme being. Whatever factors led to the secularization of our culture, and I'll leave it to the historians to identify what they are, it's not my competency, belief in God seems to have remained relatively intact, if less orthodox. The existence of God seems to be one of those eternal questions which will always be with us. In his great novel, The Brothers Karamazov, Dostoevsky has two brothers, Ivan and Alyosha, meet in a tavern for one of the most profound discussions of ideas in literary history. Near the beginning of their conversation, Ivan asks what other boys like themselves might talk about at such a time. And he answers his own question. Of the eternal questions, of the existence of God and immortality. And those who do not believe in God talk of socialism or anarchism, of the transformation of all humanity on a new pattern. So that it all comes to the same. They're the same questions turned inside out. And masses of the most original Russian boys do nothing but talk of the eternal questions. Isn't it so? And Alyosha, his brother, then replies, yes, for real Russians, the questions of God's existence and of immortality, or as you say, the same questions turned inside out, come first and foremost, of course, and so they should. I think that the reason that this passage from the novel has always particularly appealed to me is that I'm a teacher of philosophy, and Dostoevsky's description of college-age boys actually getting together of their own free will to discuss philosophical questions makes me feel a bit wistful. Marx, of course, dismissed the existence of God as a topic of serious discussion with the famous phrase, religion is the opiate of the masses, while Freud held that religious beliefs are a sign of immaturity. But two can play the ad hominem game, and it was left to the French philosopher Raymond Aron, who died just 3 or 4 weeks ago, to deliver the classic reply to Marx when he said, revolution is the opiate of the intellectuals. Dostoevsky, on the other hand, seems to be suggesting that religion and revolution, God and utopia, are both fit subjects for discussion even among intellectuals, such as we all are here tonight. Evidently, we agree with Dostoevsky on this point. Our two speakers and you, the audience, whatever
Sample complete. Ready to continue?